Test, test, test. Hey, Ross, where my money makes money. Quickly, we're going to go over stash. We're going to look at my portfolio really quickly here. And I'm going to log in. And this is my second time with stash. Now, I've had many accounts. Let me set some things up here. All right. What's up, Real Rare TV? Now we're looking at stash, and we're also looking at the percentage. So you see $1,157 in my account. But if you can look under that amount, you see that the total return. Let's get a better look at this. So you see the total return. I invested $725.25, and then my return is $431.96. Now, when you're talking about giving someone $725 and they give you in a matter of what, I want to say this is less than a year, $431. I like to deal with the percentages and not so much the amount, because $1,000, is not a lot of money. Everybody has spent $1,000 at one point in their life, either be for something you wanted or for taxes. See, Merrill Morrow, peace. Okay, what's up, man? Now, I'm going to move into what Stash has to offer. And don't forget, if your account is under $5,000, Stash is only $1 a month. Once your account goes above $5,000, it is 0.25% of the amount that you have in your account. So we're going to go to Browse Investments. And if you can tell at the top here, we're talking about ETFs. I always talk about ETFs and index funds, those exchange traded funds. And it basically tells you it is a basket of investments like stocks and bonds bundled together into a single fund. Now, from left to right, the toggle is on ETFs. You can choose your categories: bonds, commodities, consumer discretionary, foundations, global exposure. You guys can read. I'm not going to insult your intelligence. Then they have a search option for you to go into and actually look for anyone that you want. Now, this is sort of my millennial Generation Alpha look at how these things, or Generation Z, Generation Alpha only like 6 years old, but Generation Z, your Xennials, your Millennials, all these generations of how we like to see information from top to bottom. If you look at the first one, left to right, you see the conservative mix, moderate mix, aggressive mix, and data defenders. And they give these names to attract people to actually look what's inside of it. And then you can see a small snippet of what that particular ETF has to offer. Now, again, we have to understand an ETF is a basket of investments like stocks and bonds bundled together into a single fund. So that is imperative to note. We're just going to quickly glance at this, guys. We're not going to be here all day. Internet Titans. So let's just look into Internet Titans really quickly. All right, again, from left to right, top holdings: Amazon, Facebook, PayPal, Netflix, and then investment details. This is that ticker. This is where you went on Robinhood or Charles Schwab or Fidelity, something like that. What is the ticker? What is the code for that particular fund? It's FDN. It is the First Trust Dow Jones Internet Index. What risk level it is? Moderate. All this is really laid out plain and simple for you. Stash takes thinking out of investing. You know exactly what you're getting yourself into. Now you're saying, okay, the name of this is called Internet Titans. What is this? What is this ETF is actually about? It's about shopping to dating to entertainment. The internet has changed almost every aspect of life, and it's only 20 something years old. These companies capitalize on the internet's irresistible allure. And here's what I have holding. Current value of holdings, $140. Number of shares, I don't even have a share because it has not reached. If you look down here where I'm highlighting at, last price, $143 for that particular ETF. Look at the total return, 12.82%. Okay, 12.82%. Percent of my stash, if you want to look at it like M1 Finance and pies, just think if you have a pie, 12% of that pie, this internet tightness are part of my portfolio on stash. As we proceed down, we'll look at performance. Year to date, this particular ETF has been performing at 21.95%. 21%, guys. Well, let's just rock 22%. This has been performing. Look at the lifetime here. Now, it started in 2006 up until currently April 2019, 20%. All right, now we're going to look at the holdings of what each stock, each organization have in this portfolio, in this ETF. You have Amazon, Facebook, PayPal, Netflix, Alphabet, guys, is Google, Salesforce, and then that's the other stock of Google, eBay, Twitter, and VeriSign. Okay, so that is just a quick look, a quick glance at each one of these. Now, like I said, we're not going to stay here all day. We're just going to go over them really quickly. Copy the experts. Let's see what this is about. This seems interesting. All right. Marvel Technology is the top holding. And then investment detail. The ticker is GURU, G-U-R-U, and it's the Global X Guru Fund. Risk level is moderate. And this particular ETF is about you used to need millions to invest in hedge funds. Now you can follow their lead on your budget. Invest in the holdings of some of the top hedge funds. Year-to-date performance, 19%. 19%, all right, 19.6%. And then it says last price at $32.99. So we're moving right along. We're looking at all the top holdings in here. You got Marvel, XPO. Some of these I don't know. Hess Corp, I know that one. There's Amazon. There's the Chinese Amazon with Alibaba. You have Berry, you have Dr. Horton, so on and so forth, okay? So I'm just going to scroll through this. I'm just going to scroll through these quick portfolios. I probably need to drink some water. That was good. I'm going to scroll through these really quickly. And so you can get a glance at all the ETF portfolios that Stash have to offer. Now, it's 4 across. So you got 4, there's 8, 16, no, that's 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48, 52. I mean, come on, guys. They have over 50 ETFs for you to go through. And just to name some of them, you got fallback funds. Look at the names they're giving them. Like there was really Xennial and Millennial and Generation Z sort of name. Bonding with America, Happy Medium. And when you want to get into bonds, you got bond and junk bonds. Don't forget those junk bonds are very, very volatile. You can make a lot of money and you can lose a lot of money. Bonding with America, those government bonds. Gamers, FTW. I wonder what FTW means. Okay. Anyway, BLOK. Now, I know this one is dealing with cryptocurrencies. A lot of you asked me about cryptocurrencies. Right now, I'm waiting for the crypto market to really stabilize. First, it was at 3,000, and it's at 5,000. It seems that it's picking up a little bit of steam. So if you want to put a little money, a little discretionary cash inside of Bitcoin or inside of one of those cryptocurrencies, it's okay to do it right now, but don't heavily invest your money into it because the cryptocurrency market is still kind of rocky. Now, if you are investing or you want to invest in blockchains, BLOK, I invest in this one myself. Now, the top holding, I'm not too familiar with these particular holdings, but let's get into amplified transformational data sharing, okay? The ticker is BLOK. Dividend yield, 1%. Risk level is moderate. Now, year to date, it has been doing, let's round it up, 21%. The price of it, $18.13. And it gives you the top holdings of these, okay? And you have a semiconductor. Now, if anyone doesn't know this, IBM has a lot of their security technology in blockchain. That is kind of making you aware of how blockchain technology and the security may be moving the market, okay? Maybe moving the market. All right, what's up, Christopher? So we're going to move right along. We're going to go back here, and we're going to switch it. Now, I'm going to let you look at some of these ETFs. You have bonds worldwide, big business bonds, inflation defense, corporate cannabis, women who lead, combat carbon, long-term mix, and you have to go into these and actually read what the actual fund is about and see if you want to invest your money into that. And the number one thing you should be looking at is the amount and percentage of return over the course of that fund, over the life of that fund. The only thing you should be looking at is steady growth, steady growth. And 9 out of 10 ETFs gives you dividends, okay? It gives you dividends. Now, I want Stash to start to automatically reinvest my dividends. I'm not too sure they do that yet. From my knowledge, they do not do that. But I know that M1 Finance reinvests my dividends as well as Wealthfront. Yes, I invest pretty much all my money in robo-advisors because they're low fees. And with Robinhood, you have 0 fees. But Robinhood doesn't auto-invest your dividends either. Here's another one. You have Robot Rising, Delicious Dividends, On Cloud9, Water the World. Like, again, these are really, really catchy names. So moving on. We're going to go up here and we're going to switch this toggle from ETF to stocks, okay? And we're going to look at the stocks that Stash has to offer. Again, same sort of same sort of categories here. You have energy, financial, healthcare, industrial, information, technology, etc. This is when you begin to micro invest, okay? Fractional investing, unless you have the amount of money to pay for one of these stocks. So let's go right into Berkshire Hathaway. We know this one is owned by Warren Buffett, probably the 3rd or 4th richest man in the world. So top holding, there's no top holding because it's single stocks here, guys. Single stocks. The ticker is BRK.B. Now there is another one. It's BRK.A, and that stock per share is worth over like $300,000. Risk level is aggressive. It gives you, again, a small snippet about what the stock is about. Invest with Warren Buffett, one of the world's wealthiest people. This fund buys shares off his holding company, Berkshire Hathaway, that includes a broad mix of businesses. The last price per share, $209.74. Year to date, 3.42%. Now that's not good. I wouldn't put my money there, guys. It's not making enough money for me to. But some people put their money in these stocks that have steadily grown. If you look at the graph right here, since 2004 to 2019, it is going up. And as you can tell, as I'm scrolling through the timeline here, if you would have invested inside this stock back in 2010, it would have cost you $82. $82. And I invest inside the stock. I had about 5 of them. I paid, I want to say around $100. So, no, $77. There it is. Back in 2012. But I sold it last year. I made a little bit of money from it. But like I said, I'm not going to keep my money in the stock. I know it's growing, but it's not growing exponentially because you can do better with better stocks. All right, let's move along. Let's look at another stock a little bit interesting for us. So you have Apple, you have Amazon. Let's look at Apple. People love Apple, right? Well, some people. Okay, Apple. The ticker is AAPL. Look at this, dividend yields. They do give you dividends with this particular stock. Known for thinking differently since 1977, Apple strives to deliver superior customer experience through its unified approach to hardware, software, and services, all led by its flagship product, the iPhone. This is a direct investment in Apple stock. So, last price, roughly $200. Year to date, this is what I'm talking about. Year to date. Now, Warren Buffett, BRK.A stock was $200, $206. This one is roughly $200. But look at the percentage right here on the far right. 26%. 26%. This is where you want your money, right? And again, 2004 to 2019, it has exponentially grown, meaning your money would have grown 3 times as much, well, more than 3 times is the Berkshire A fund. So, I mean, not A, B. So you get what I'm talking about. So you really have to do your research. And this is just a small bit of research. You can also go on Stock Watch. You can go on Market Watcher. And you want to look at the RSI, the Relative Strength Index. People on Robinhood call it candlesticks. And basically, you're looking at a timeline. You're looking how during certain parts of the year how the stock performs and how it goes pretty much up and down, right? The history of the stock. Again, let's go back. You have Amazon. Here's another popular one, Walt Disney. Alphabet again is Google. Let's look at Google. Let's see which one of this is. This is the GOOGL. Google also has another one with the ticker GOOG. The risk level is aggressive. Alphabet is the holding company for Google, right? So I guess if my apartment is Alphabet and I'm Google, right? That's a bad example. And a collection of moonshot businesses. Nearly all of its profits come from ads served on Google's global media platforms, including search, YouTube, and maps. This is a direct investment in Alphabet stock. All right. For each stock, it's $1,226, and it's performing at 16%. Anything over 7%, I like. Anything over 10%, I love. Anything over 15%, invest, right? So we're going to look at the timeline, 2004 to 2019, exponentially growing money. You said, how about Boeing stock? Let's look at Boeing stock. Let's look at it. Where are we? Did I pass it? Let's look at Boeing stock. Here we go. Boeing, the Boeing company, ticker BA. Dividends yield 2.17%. You'll get some money back every quarter, 3 to 4 months with Boeing. Risk level is aggressive. What is this stock all about? Now in its second century of business, Boeing builds and services commercial airplanes, military aircraft, defense systems, satellites, and rockets for airlines and governments in over 150 countries. This is the direct investment in Boeing stock. Now, are you asking me about Boeing stock because you probably thought that stock dropped, which it did, right? Because of those 737s that crashed. Was it 737s or 727s? Let's go with 737s. All right, but look. The last price of the Boeing stock was $375.21. Year to date, it has been forming at 15%, so roughly 16%, 15.87%. From 2004 to 2019, as you see, it has gone up during those crashes right here around January and December. It teetered at 313 and went back up 359. Then look at this. March the 4th, it jumped to $432. And now we're at, let's look at this, $374. So, is it a good time to buy? That's a really good question. I'm looking at you guys' feed here. I don't do individual stocks no more because of the volatility, right? And if I'm going to spend $375, I'm just going to put my money to an ETFs because 9 out of 10 ETFs have those dividends, right? And then you may have to reinvest those dividends inside that ETFs. But here's the thing. When we're talking about investing, the first question I have to ask you is this. And this is, I don't want to butcher your name, New Engine, or can I just call you Yin? But my point is this. If you have debt, if you have payments left on your car, if you have credit card debt, if you have a personal loan, I would advise you before you start to invest to pay those off. Not down, pay them off. In order to build wealth, you need zero debt. Zero debt. In order to build wealth, you need zero debt. All right, Christopher saying, IBM been involving themselves with Stellar Lumens lately. Okay. Okay, Christopher. Yeah, you said you mostly do ETFs. Now, I used to do Acorns, but Acorns doesn't have the transparency of Stash. As we're looking at this, the transparency, the interface, the design, it's so clear, it's so clean that it's giving you all the information. I have nothing against Acorns, but Stash also have, I believe they have their own version of the Roundup where they round up your account and invest your, Acorns or whatever. They took that from Acorns, but with Acorns, it's like moderately aggressive, and I didn't like that. I want to know where my money is going. Like, okay, it's going into commodities and minerals and water, but where? What companies? With Stash, you know exactly what companies. And the reason why that's important, because if you're looking at the news, you're like, oh, two Boeing planes crashed. Let me just, I'm not saying freak out because most people left their money in Boeing because guess what? Boeing make the most planes for everybody. Now, their rival is the French Airbus, those French guys, because they're starting to pick up some contracts because Boeing is losing a little bit of luster in the game. But most people are going to keep their money in Boeing because they can continue to be the government's #1 plane making baby. All right, let's look at, so you're asking, should I invest into stocks or pay off my mortgage? This is a good one. This is a good one. Okay. It depends. Let me ask you this. Do you have a 30-year mortgage or do you have a 15-year mortgage? And we're not talking about those ARMs, right? Adjustable rate mortgages. We're talking about only fixed. So is it 30-year or 15 years? All right. You agree. You don't get as much access to your information on Acorns. You don't. And I'm telling you, I got rid of my Acorns account and everything on my channel. If you notice, I haven't really said anything about Acorns. I left it alone. I really don't even mess with it. Now, with my podcast, I think when I was doing Robo and investment advisories, I think I talked about it. And I gave out that information on my podcast. And if you're on my channel, guys, you can look at one of my podcasts. Those podcasts are also on Stitcher. They are on iTunes, Apple, and Spotify. So all the, podcast platforms, you can listen to those on your way to work and so on and so forth. All right. What about Disney? Okay, let's look at Disney. I think I passed Disney. All right. Disney, their ticker is DIS. Dividends yield is 1.35%. Risk level aggressive. The century-old Walt Disney Company is now in entertainment. What? Properties include ESPN, ABC, Hulu, Pixar, Vice, Lucasfilm, Marvel's, Muppets, so on and so forth. Okay, let's get right to the money. Performance. Last price, $132. And year to date, Disney is doing pretty good. We're at 21%. We're at 21% from 2004 April to 2019 April. They have, this is year to date though. So 21%, is Disney a solid buy? I mean, really? Who's not going to Disney World? I mean, people, I've never been to Disney World. I'm actually planning to go one day within the next 5 years. So hopefully I can get there and be a big kid. All right, I'm reading you guys' feed here, so I'm trying to answer all your questions in order. Also, how can I tell when I get a dividend? Oh, it would just be money left over in your account. So I don't think my account will show me that. Let's go back to mine. Now, guys, I don't have a lot of money here because I took some money out, a couple of thousands, to pay off debt because I'm trying to live debt free. I'm tired of owing people money, right? Here's the thing. And I'm still on topic because we're talking about money. Think about debt for a minute. Your credit score is a grading report to tell somebody, oh, he's worthy enough, she's worthy enough to get out money at this percent. But all the while, you are asking somebody for money to pay them back with interest. And it's because most of the times, not all the time, it's because you don't want to sacrifice. You want it now. You want it now. And the thing about Americans, right? We want it now because we see everybody else with it. The only thing we need to do is what Dave Ramsey said. We need to live like no one else. So when we retire or we become financially free and we live off cash flow, we live like nobody else. Meaning you're going to struggle. You're going to go through some painstaking hurts because you're trying to become debt free. So you're not going to be living like the typical American. Live like no one else. But then when you become financially free and you cash flow everything and you don't even need credit because you have the cash, you're building wealth off your income, your #1 wealth building tool, you're going to live like nobody else because most Americans are in debt. That is what I'm talking about. Think like that. All right. Yes, dividends. You will see that in your account. Did I miss anybody? Am I answering all you guys' questions? Please let me know. That way we can go over this very quickly. All right. So we're gonna move to a different portion of this. We're gonna go to learn really quickly. We're gonna go into learn, so you guys understand what learn is. So basically, learn is a portion of their platform where they're teaching you how to invest. They're answering all your questions, so to speak. And if you look right under Stash Learn, you have Teach Me, Money News, Life, Stash. So you go into Teach Me, look at the topics: saving and budgeting, investing, debt management, credit, risk, and insurance. And if anybody wants to invest with Stash, they're going to give you $5 and they're going to give me $5 when you use one of my links. Now, for this live feed, I don't believe I have set up the link for Stash, but if you go into one of my old videos, just go into the description and you will see a Stash link, and it will give you $5 and it will give me $5 because you need $5 to invest. That's all you need. You need $5 to invest. I know some of you have $25 to invest, right? Even if you say, you know what, man, I have $50, and you can look at all those ETFs, or if you want an individual stock, you can go in there and you can invest $5, even with the individual stocks, because it's fractional shares. It's micro investing. So you can be making money. See, here's the thing about saving versus investing. And this is where I want your mind to go, right? This is where I want your mind to go. Saving is for short term and emergencies. That's what they're for. I did a high yield savings podcast, and I talked about typically three banks. And these three banks are 2.40% and above. All right. 2.40, if I can remember correctly, was Tab Bank. That's TAB Bank at 2.40. Then you had Vio Bank. That's VIO Bank at 2.46%. Then you have Banesco, BANESCO, at 2.47%. So if anybody heard me speak before about certain high yield savings, I transfer all my money from Dollar Saving Direct to Marcus by Goldman Sachs to Banesco. I don't have loyalty to banks, guys. I'm going with the highest rate possible with no fees. That's the key. No fees, right? They may have some sort of requirement like, open your bank account with $100 and every month you need to deposit $100 until you get 1,000. That's fine. I'm going to do 100. That's fine. But we're not Banesco. Not with Banesco. You open an account, no fees, you put your money in there, it starts growing exponentially. Okay? It starts growing exponentially. And granted, it's not a lot of money when you look at 21% and you're looking at investing. That's totally different. I use my savings account for a couple of things. I use it for my emergency fund, and I use it for maybe a trip or something I'm planning to take. So that's just a little sidebar, a little information for you guys. But nonetheless, I hope that, satisfy your needs if you're looking for a savings account. So we're in Stash Learn, and I'm under Teach Me. So I'm going to go to investing. Now they have, again, these names: What Mom and Dad Taught Me About Money, Understanding Financial Genealogy and Teach You Better Money Habits, 4 Reasons Millennials Can Benefit from Investing Early. Let's go into that. 2-minute read. They even give you the amount of time that it takes to read it because they understand this new age of people and technology. Anything over 5 minutes, no one's interested, right? No one's interested. All right. And I'm not going to read this to you guys. I'm just going to show you how they give you the information. They ask you your questions. So we come down here. When you invest at a young age, time is on your side, right? And they give you a quick little diagram here about how you start off and how your money grows. They give you, invest 180,000, and then you retire with 480,000 because time in investing, it grows your money. Even Einstein said that, compound interest is one of the most confusing. He didn't say confusing, but I forgot the exact words Einstein used, but he was like, it was one of the greatest things in the universe because even he was baffled how money on top of money was building money and then growing and doubling and tripling and quadrupling. And that's the thing about keeping your money in investment, because a lot of people always ask, they say, how do I get my money out? How do I get my money out? If I put my money in there, how do I get my money out? I'm like, if you're thinking about getting your money out right now, what are you, 20? What are you, 30? What are you, 40? If you're talking about getting out your money right now, then maybe investing is not time for you. Maybe you need to save a little nest egg for an emergency fund. Maybe you need to pay off your car. Maybe you need to pay off your credit cards. before you get into investing. But once you get into investing, you still shouldn't be looking to take your money out, because saving is short term, investing is long term. Read anything about Warren Buffett. Some things about what he said about investing is that he doesn't invest in anything he doesn't know, meaning that if he didn't read about it and study about it, which you guys can do, he didn't invest in it. And then secondly, he keeps his money in there until he sees a huge swift in the market. Because a couple years back, I want to say 2 or 3 years, he sold a large portion of his IBM stock because he saw that IBM was teetering. They wasn't growing. They were just teetering. They wasn't growing. So Warren Buffett like, I'm gonna sell a portion of stock, but the guy still got probably over $1 million something in his IBM. You know, it's Warren Buffett. All right, moving right along, guys. Money news. All right, we're looking at the money news. Is just giving you information about IPOs, what Boeing's probably mean for the market. For who was the guy? Was he Christopher? Was that talking? No, it wasn't Christopher. I'm sorry. New Engine. Yes, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name again. But here's some news right here on Stash about what Boeing's probably mean for the market. Okay, it's a 2-minute read. I'm just going to let you quickly look over really quickly here. We're going to glance at it. Why are Boeing's problems important? And I'll read this one. Okay. Oh, I was right. It's a 737 MAX 737. It says Boeing is a giant in the aerospace and defense industry. The loss of life related to possible flaws in its planned designs can have enormous consequences for the company, including loss of consumer confidence, brand damage, financial losses, and ongoing criminal investigations. Its difficult have also rippled through the stock market. Boeing's share price has increased about 12% since the Ethiopian air crash. Boeing's falling stock prices also caused a drop in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, where it makes up about 11% of the index. And it talks about the Boeing 737 MAX. So, New Engine, here's, hey, what's up, Ashley? How you doing? But New Engine, that is some good information for you. It looked like you was interested. It was a good time to invest in Boeing. And the more information that you can use when you invest is the better for you. Like, people go to, let's see, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, all these places, and they charge you these astronomical prices, right? Astronomical prices to invest. Now, if you're on YouTube all day, if you watch TV, if you go play ball, if you go to the movies, you have time to do your research. You have time to do your research in order to invest properly. Now, if you don't have that much time, or you just don't want to even deal with it, again, look where we are. We're right here on Stash, where they make it so freaking easy for you to invest your money and get a profitable return. So again, I'm going to show you how much money I have in my Stash account, because I don't have that much in there. As I told the other viewers, I took thousands of dollars to pay some debt down because I'm trying to live debt free. So I have roughly $1,100 in here. Let's go back. They won't let me out. All right, here we go. Now look at this, guys. Here's my portfolio. You see my pretty face up in the top right corner, and it says my value. This is the amount that I invested right here, $700.25. Total return. Look at the total return. If somebody would have told me when I was 18, hey, that $500 check you received working at Burger King, I didn't work at Burger King. It was, where did I work? A place called Morrison's. It was like Boston Market. They say, hey, you take that check, give it to me in a couple of years, I'm going to give you $500 back, an extra $500, so $1,000. And that's what you have to get your mind into. Investing is long term. Look at this. Total returns. Now, if I go back, let's get into the percentage of things. Look at my percentage down here. So it gives me the dollar amount. Then it gives me almost 40% of a return. That's crazy. That's crazy. Now, hey, Ashley, if you look at one of my older videos or podcasts, you will find a link about Stash in the description. And when you sign up using my link, I get $5, you get $5. And you know I'm a real dude. I want the $5 because I'm going to put that right back in Stash. It's free money. It's free money. I don't know if Stash has a promotion where if you just sign up, they give you $5. but I think they do. And last but not least, and I don't want to make this too long here, guys. It says with just $5, give yourself the gift that keeps on giving. Let's get into the retirement tab here. And not to assault your intelligence, I'm going to read just a little bit here. Investing for retirement can be hard, but we've cracked the code. Individual retirement accounts that are optimized for you and help you save on taxes. Curated investments grouped and balanced for your timeline. Auto stash so you can set it and forget it and watch your stash grow. So if you're thinking, which you should be, about retirement, because when you're young, you're not really thinking about retirement, are you? You're not really thinking about retirement. You're thinking like, well, when I get 30, y'all. No. Right here, right now, it's time to retire. And I don't mean like go and retire. I mean, think about retirement. Put your money in your corporations, 401ks, your 403bs, your IRA, your Roth, your annuities, life insurance. All these are form of investing. When people say, I want to save for my retirement, total incorrect statement. It's totally incorrect the way people are saying it, right? You don't save for your retirement. Like maybe some people have a high yield savings account that they may save a little bit of money for, but most people invest for their retirement. What do you think a 401k is? It's an investment. What do you think a 403b is? It's an investment. What do you think a Roth and a traditional IRA is? It's an investment. All of these are going through the stock market to exponentially grow your money. Now, earlier we talked about ETF, those exchange traded funds. I can't leave the conversation without talking about Vanguard. You can go directly to Vanguard and with anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 if you have that amount of money, and you can get into one of their ETFs where they manage it for either a low percentage or sometimes even free, depending on how much money you have. That's another option. But I like again, this is about a glance at stash in an open forum and a discussion. Yes, Ashley, we've talked about acorns. Who was it that talked about acorn? Was it Christopher? Yeah, I believe early one of the other guys we talked about acorns, and I told them that I really like acorns. I don't like they don't really they don't have any transparency. That's just my take on it. I like stash because again, we're gonna do this very quickly. I'm not trying to bore you guys out, but this is just for Ashley. I'm gonna go into let's go into blue chips. Now, Ashley, answer this question, Ashley. Does Acorns tell you this? All right. The name of this portfolio that Stash has given this is Blue Chips, but that's just their little name. Top holdings: Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook. Investment detail: Vanguard Mega Cap ETF. The ticker is MGC. So if you have this amount of money, how much is $100? You can just go over to Robinhood and buy it. And that way you don't have to pay the $1 fee a month if your account is under $5,000. Or if it's over $5,000, they're going to charge you 0.25%. And these are low fees. These are low fees. But again, you can use Stash to help you to invest on Robinhood because we know Robinhood is commission free. So risk level, conservative. And it talks about blue chip companies tend to be sturdy and strong while others may falter. Thanks to their size, they're likely to be more stable than a similar fish in a pond. Current holdings, it tells you how much I have in it. Number of shares, I have 1.3 shares. That's because with Acorns, excuse me. You got me on Acorns. With Stash, you can micro invest, okay? Fractional shares. So I have 1.3. Percent of your stash. Think about pies with M1 Finance. You have 11%. And last price for a share of this particular ETF is $100. So you have $100. Instead of doing it with Stash, you can go over Robinhood. You go over to Robinhood and buy one, but not pay the dollar a month to have a Stash account. Now, what I like about Stash, they have auto stash, just like have Robinhood, not Robinhood Gold. You have to pay money on Robinhood Gold, FYI. But with Stash, you have all these ETFs that they already laid out for you. And as you can tell, most of these are over 15%. 15%, okay? Now, when I did my podcast about robo advisors, Stash was the exceptional one, and I excluded them for robo advisor, but I had to put them in because they're an online investment platform. The difference between Stash and the other ones use a computer algorithm, right, a math algorithm to invest your money, where Stash have people actually doing some of the investing. But when you're talking about ETFs, you're talking about passive investing and not active investing. All right. Year to date, 15.1%. So 15% from 2007 to 2019, 15% year to date. And here are the top holdings. You got Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Berkshire Hathaway, that's the Warren Buffett one, Johnson & Johnson, Alphabet, and both of those are Google, Goog, and Googl. And you have ExxonMobil, that's your gas company, JP Morgan and Chase, and that is a bank. Look at the clarity. Look at the transparency with Stash. And granted, let me tell you guys this. I am not affiliated. They don't pay me. I don't get paid from Stash. I'm just giving you good information that I've been making money on, and I hope that you can make money on too. All right. You're going to invest today, but use my link so I can get that $5. Okay. Christopher says, yeah, that was me who mentioned Acorns. Okay. I'm thinking of changing from Acorns to Stash for these exact reasons of more flexibility. Okay. I like M1 Finance better. Hey, Mel, I like M1 Finance too, but tell me if you agree. M1 Finance, when you get inside the app or you get on the webpage, don't you? I feel like it's muddy, right? Like I get lost sometimes, and I'm always on some sort of investment platform, but I get lost sometimes. I'm like, okay, my pie, and okay, I got this piece of the pie, and my pie got a pie, and I'm just saying maybe I'm not as savvy as you when I'm looking at this thing, but M1 Finance is 100% free. Again, M1 Finance is 100% free. And yes, just like Stash, they have ETFs and they have individual stocks. So again, if you want to invest in individual stocks, don't go through Stash. You're going to pay a price. Okay? Don't go through Stash. Go to Robinhood. Go to M1 Finance. And if you can bear the M1 Finance platform, do their ETFs. I just like the way Stash has it laid out. I don't mind $1 a month. I mean, I got YouTube TV. I got Amazon Prime. I'm paying all these monthly bills. I have XM radio in my car. That's $30-something every 5 months. That's because I tell them that I'm a counselor, and then they give me a promotion, just like I do with my Xfinity. Don't tell nobody. Wait a minute, is this on the internet? But you get what I'm talking about, guys. Am I saying that Robinhood is better than Acorns? No, I'm not saying that, because Acorns and Robinhood are two different robo-advisors. Two different, excuse me. There are two different robo-advisories, okay? You can compare Acorns to Stash. Am I saying Stash is better than Acorns? In my opinion, yes. You can compare Acorns to M1 Finance. Am I saying M1 Finance is better than Acorns? Yes, because of the transparency. But I wouldn't compare Acorns to Robinhood. I would more like compare Robinhood to Charles Schwab, Fidelity. I wouldn't even compare Robinhood to M1 Finance. I really wouldn't. Well, you know what? I take that back. Mel, I could compare Robinhood to M1 Finance, and for what M1 Finance offers, free, it has to. And Robinhood is also free, but the way that M1 Finance created their platform, you can just do a little bit more, and they also auto invest your dividends, right? So they reinvest your dividends when you put your money into ETFs. They reinvest your dividends. And so you never have to worry to go back in. Now with Robinhood, you'll just see some extra change in your account. Like, well, I got $3. That's because some of, like mine, you'll see all these ETFs that you have, but they don't reinvest your dividends. And that's a plus on M1 Finance. So Mel, I can actually understand why you like M1 Finance better. And I have an M1 Finance account. I put a couple of thousands in there, and then I took those couple of thousands out, and then about a week ago, I put $100 in there because you have to put $100 in there. And I told myself I'm just going to hold off. So, hey, guys, we're about 45 minutes here. If you have any other questions, let me know now. About in the next 2 minutes, I'm going to go offline here and do some other things I need to do. But hopefully I have been answering your questions. Hopefully you have a better look at Stash. You can go check out Robinhood. You can go check out M1 Finance. Here's another one by, popular mention by myself is Wealthfront. Wealthfront is also a good one. I like Wealthfront. Now with Wealthfront, you have to do a $500 minimum, but they also do, the tax efficiency, tax harvesting, reinvest your dividends, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I do have a podcast on my channel. If you just will go to Ross World, go to one of my playlists and look for podcasts. If you look for the podcast tab, you will see the one that says Robo Investment Advisory. That's Robo Investment Advisory in my playlist for podcasts. You will get all the information through there. And again, the podcast is on Stitcher. It's on Spotify. It's on iTunes. It's on, I think iTunes is Apple. No, iTunes is not Apple. Apple and Google. And also, I have a website for my podcast, and the website is rossworld.buzzsprout.com. That's rossworld.buzzsprout.com. So that's ROSSWORLD.BUZZSPROUT.com. Oh, look at D. Thank you, D. Hit the like button, guys. Thank you, D. All right, so again, I'm going to stay on here to 50 minutes. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm scanning the chat room here just so I didn't miss anyone. You don't get much access to your information on Acorns, okay? All right, let me know, guys. If you have any questions, I'm going to try to stay on here for a couple of more minutes. We're going to look at this right here. So we're in the front page of Stash. And look at this. I have mine set for $70 every month. Look, I'm not a rich guy. $70 a month. Got to try M1. Yeah. Try M1. See if you like it. See me, I have M1. I have Stash. I have Robinhood. I have Wealthfront. And I have, Fundrise. I just released a podcast. So if you go on Ross World again, or you go on one of those entities that I told you about, you will see my latest podcast is about Fundrise. I took $500 and I put it into Fundrise for their starter plan. And I've already made 40 cents. And someone is saying, man, I made 40 cents in like a week. I like the time aspect of it, right? If I just keep my money in there, I don't have to even put no more money in there. It's going to grow, right? I have another 20, 30 years to actually invest and retire. So even if I didn't want to put no more money into Fundrise, I know there's going to grow. It's a real estate REIT. It's an E-REIT, electronic real estate investment trust. And your money is being invested in real property, okay? I know this segment is about Stash, so don't beat me up. I'm getting off a little on topic, but again, a Fundrise for me, I like the fact that I've already been making some money. So we're coming up on 50 minutes here, guys. Exactly. Derek Calhoun, you are exactly right. Play the long game. Play the long game. And Christopher, I see you. You're saving up for Fundrise. Hey, man, I had to drop $500 down on it because I kept hearing great things. I saw this another guy on YouTube. He said that he took his money out of Fundrise for whatever reason. And then when he told me how long he had it in there, I was just like, scared money don't make money. He had his money in Fundrise for only 10 months. 10 months. That's not a long time. Don't forget that your money in Fundrise is being invested in real property. Now, before they created this new way to get your money out, the only way that at first you can get your